Hello, it's me, Tribesima, and today I am attempting the Black and White Create a Sim challenge. So first of all, I think what we need to do is change my settings to black and white. So hopefully it'll let me do this while I'm still recording, but if not, I'll put me into black and white and be back in a second. So let me see. Right, here we go. Right, so we are now black and white. Right, let's get cracking then. Right, do my usual business first. Let's try her face. She's quite bonny actually, but let's see what we can do. I still have not mastered Create a Sim. I miss the sliders, gonna be honest with you. Right, so get your nose a bit cuter. Oh, it's a bit pointy. That would probably do. Eyes. Right, while I'm here and chatting to you, because I wanted to leave this on so you can hear my reactions, because it might be boring, but it might not be, and I might end up being really entertaining while we do this. But I thought I might as well talk to you about my recent trip to America. So as you know, I went to New York a couple of weeks ago, and it was brilliant. I'd never been to America before. I had left Europe. I'd never been to America before, and apart from it taking forever to get through passport control when we got there, because I had to check our visas and stuff like that, it was brilliant. So we did all the generic tourist things, like went to the Statue of Liberty, we went to the Rockefeller Center, the Empire State Building, with Central Park. We did all sorts. We went to play on Broadway, we went to see the Mets, which I'm not into sport myself, but I absolutely loved it. I thought it was like 3.5 hours long or something like the match, and I for sure thought I was going to get bored through, and I was going because my partner is into sport, and that's what he wanted. One of the things he wanted to do was go to a sporting game. I wanted to go to see the basketball or the ice hockey, but it was too late in the season. It's just my fault for not researching it, but never mind. We went at the time of the year when we wanted to, so which was important to us. So that's what matters. Right, let's get cracking. Let's change your eyes. I want my nice ones. I have no idea. I'm gonna stick with them. I have no idea where things are or anything like that, so this is either going to be fantastic or spectacularly bad. So yeah, I'm into baseball now, which is great. I think I would happily go back to America just to watch the baseball match, but I'd have to go on a trip that I wanted to go on. What do we think her style is? His hair? No, not on the slightest. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to attempt to do her makeup. Oh, we need eyelashes, come on. Get your eyelashes on. I don't use a lot of alpha themed custom content, but they're so pretty. Why is her face so like, let's get her cheekbones out a little bit. They're a bit too pointy. There we go, that's better. Yeah, I am now into sport, which is crazy, but I'm happy, so that's what matters. So I think it's gonna be a little gap tooth. I think it should be cute like that. Yeah, I quite like that. So it was absolutely fantastic trip. It's something we've wanted to do for a while. I wanted to go to New York because I wanted to go see Starry Night by Van Gogh, which is one of my favourite paintings. Let's see, these ones, you can never go wrong with these lipsticks. I think that's like a generic grey colour, let's stick with that. Eyeliner, I don't tend to put that on. Eyeshadow, oh goodness, this is going to be like the killer. Does she suit? No. Burgundy, oh that's a risk. Try this one. Different colour. That'll do. She looks pretty in black and white, like a vintage sort of way. So yeah, I wanted to see Starry Night by Van Gogh. It's like my favourite painting. I'm a huge Van Gogh fan. My phone case is actually Starry Night, and that was brilliant. And like I say, I had an absolutely amazing trip until we tried to come home. I've had to tell this story so many times, but basically they do in New York, they do work on the subway on a weekend. I didn't know that. I should have done, because it's the same over here when they do work like on the tube or the metro and stuff like that, so I should have known better. But anyway, we set off. We did have plenty of time to get to the airport, and we checked in, and there was, you know, it was fine, there was a lot of time. So it was just stressful for me because I like to be there really, really early. We got there about, well, it was still probably 2 hours before our flights were to leave, which is plenty of time because we had already checked in. We only had to get through security. But I like to like sit and chill in the airport for a bit beforehand to wind down, which I didn't get to do, but never mind. So yeah, we went to get on the to board, and we were meant to be boarding at 5 o'clock to leave for 6. And we got there, and they were like, "Oh no, we're not boarding." Oh, that's pretty. We're not boarding until 5:30. So I was like, right, okay. Bearing in mind, we had to get this flight, and then we had a connecting flight. We flew from JFK to London Heathrow, and then we had a connecting flight to Manchester Airport, which was meant to be an hour and a half after we landed, which, you know, in general is plenty of time. So we got on the plane, boarding about 25 to 6, and then we all got sat down, and they said, "Oh, we're going to have to wait in taxi because there's 17 planes ahead of us waiting to fly." So at this point we're like, oh no, because there's only an hour and a half between the flights, already leaving late. So at about 7:30 we finally leave the flight, and at this point I'm just at the stage, well, I'm not going to let this ruin the flight. We've booked it through the same airline. They've got to help us out regardless. So I wasn't panicking too much, and I was thinking, well, nah, they're going to make sure we get there, don't worry. So fast forward like 6 hours, which is like the flight duration. They managed to wake up quite a bit of time, and we got in we got in about 10 to 7 British time. The flight was at 8, which was only about 25 minutes later than we were actually due in, which, you know, wasn't too bad. But there was us, and there was 42 other people meant to be getting this flight up to Manchester. So they said when we were like landing, everybody on this flight to Manchester Airport, you get up, everybody sit in their seats, everyone, we need to get you straight through so we can get you on your flight in time. And so we did. Obviously there's always people who don't do as they're supposed to, blocking the way, blah blah blah. I'm going to stick with this hair, and I think if we stick with black hair, we're not going to be making too many mistakes, so we'll do that. Let's get her outfit sorted now. So we did that. Hello, you're joining in with my story there, aren't you, love? So we did that. We literally like pegged it from the terminal onto the bus to the next terminal that we needed to be at. We got there, and the staff member, the manager from the flight we were meant to be getting on, because we were a different airline, basically came to the gate and said, "No, you're not getting on the plane." So there's 44 of us northerners sat there like, you what? The woman from the other plane is like, "Well, you just told us exactly what to do. You knew 7 hours ago what was happening, and you're still refusing to let us on." So she's she was absolutely fantastic. I'm not going to name any airlines or anything like that, because that's not relevant really. Well, it is, but you know what I mean. So they're having like their argument, well, not arguing between themselves, but she's just like determined to get us on this flight, which we weren't allowed on. So this is about 7 o'clock in the morning. We're trying to get on this flight, they're not letting us on, and they just kind of end up wasting a lot of time when we had over an hour. We had an hour and 5 minutes to get on this plane, and because of them messing about, they just didn't want to let us on the plane, I think. Like, it was too much hassle, probably worrying about cases and stuff like that, to get us on. So they weren't going to let us on. But what annoys me is that they could have told us that in JFK, and then the other airline could have maybe organised something for us when we got back on land, back to the UK. But that is what happened. So we're stuck in the airport. They offer, about 40 minutes later, they come over, offer us a coach back up to Manchester. Now, if you don't live in the UK is not a massive island, but it still takes a while to travel. If we were leaving from London, it would probably take about 6 hours on a coach. It's like a 45-minute flight, but it would probably take 5 to 6 hours to get there if we were driving. So no one's happy about that. We had a train booked at 12 at midday, so we meant to get in at 9 to Manchester. We had a train booked back to, because I don't live anywhere near Manchester, I live at the other side of the country, still north, but the other side. So we had a train booked to get back to the UK, back to where we live. Oh, I'm sticking with that. That's pretty generic. For 12, which we would have missed regardless, unless they got us on that flight. So we're like, well, what's going to happen? It's going to cost us like £100. We bought these tickets well in advance. I'm like, it's going to cost us like £100 if we have to buy some train tickets, which is, you've just been on holiday. I like this look. What's going on here? Let's see. That colour? Yeah, why not? Shoes. So at this point, they're like umming and ahhing, and then we find out that a couple of them had managed to get on a flight to a different airport, which is in like the middle of the north, Leeds. So we're like, right, okay, there is another airport near where we live. We just turned to go to Manchester because it's usually cheaper. So we asked them if they could get us on a flight to Newcastle Airport, which is closer to where I live. If you can tell by the accent, that's my area. I don't live in Newcastle, but I live near. And yeah, so they managed to get us on a flight at 1:25. So we were meant to be landed in Manchester, probably back home. Well, we probably would have got back home about 2:30 after we got the train. So we're stuck in London Heathrow Airport for hours and hours and hours. Nobody offered us any sort of food or drink or anything, so we had to shell out for like dinner and stuff, which is expensive in Heathrow Airport. There's no way you can get anything cheap apart from like a sandwich, which you needed something a bit more substantial than that. Now these gladiators are not working. So yeah, we had to get a proper meal, whereas we probably could have nipped out into Manchester and got something cheap. So we eventually, after like lingering around in an airport for 5 hours, get on our flight to Newcastle. That's all well and good. We get there, we're waiting around for our suitcases, and they come missing. You can't even make this up. It was literally like one thing after another. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong on this flight home. So yeah, we lost our cases. We had to register, and we didn't get them back for 2 whole days, which, doesn't sound like the end of the world, but I'd actually borrowed my parents' suitcases, and they were going on holiday like 3 days later. So we were like panicking that they weren't going to get their suitcases back. We were panicking that we weren't going to get our stuff back. I had like everything I had, because of the time of year, we had to take everything. I had no shoes for work to wear the next day because I don't have many shoes, but I took everything that I needed. So I was like, oh my goodness. So we came in on the Monday, I was off on the Tuesday, and then I had to go to work on Wednesday, and I was like, I've got nothing to go on my feet. I managed to find the most inappropriate pair of sandals to wear, which was like black and covered in studs, but that's all I had to wear on my feet. It was that or trainers. So yeah, that was my exciting trip back from New York. So we put a claim for compensation. It's something in the UK. If you're delayed over a certain amount of time, it's like, well, it's not UK, it's EU rules. You can claim compensation for being delayed on your flight, basically. So we're in the process of that at the moment, and yeah, so that is my exciting trip back from New York. We're nearly done here. I'm just gonna grab her a little necklace. What about this one? That's pretty. Yeah, pretty harmless. Get her a pair of earrings in, something that we can match with. Right, can't go wrong with pearls. So now we shall see what she looks like. Get Wiz back into colour. Oh, it's yellow. Oh, that's not too bad actually. I'm quite happy with that. I think the red kind of goes with the mustard. Not sure about the colour of her eyes. They're probably better if they were like brown, but I'm weirdly pleased with myself for this. Well done, tribe. The shoes don't match. The shoes could be like a brown colour, but no, that's well good. I'm well pleased with myself there. So on this note, I'm going to leave it there with my impressive... I'm impressed. Anyway, if you have enjoyed this video, if you want to like, if you want to comment, if you want to share it, if you haven't already, if you're brand new to my channel, hello, welcome. And if you haven't, click the button down below, join the tribe and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye everyone.